This is the Blood Red podcast from the Liverpool Echo.
It's a Blood Red podcast courtesy of the Liverpool Echo. I'm Guy Clarke. Welcome along with a special episode and a special guest here with us, Bantamweight World Title Challenger Paul Butler and former World Champion as well, looking to go for a second time at winning Bantamweight World Title. Thanks a lot for coming in and joining us ahead of your fight with John Riel Casimero on the 22nd of April at the M&S Bank Arena. Great to have you in here. And, do you want to tell us more about your fight coming up?
Yeah, it's obviously a rescheduled bout. We were meant to box December last year in Dubai. He failed to get on the scales, said he was ill. One thing led to another out in Dubai, and we're here now, 22nd. It's actually felt nice for me. Home crowd, home advantage. Listen, I'd love to box in Dubai, but it's like I say, it's felt nice for me. Home advantage and loads of tickets to sell.
I was going to say, I think it's your 10th fight, is it, at the arena? Home crowd, as you say.
I wouldn't know. It's probably about that, yeah.
Yeah, it does feel as though, as you say, it does kind of play into your hands.
It's like a second home for me. You just walk in the arena and you know where you're going. Everything's normal to you. I've boxed there many a time before. I made my debut there. Funny enough, the day I was meant to box Casimero, would have been 11 years to the day since I boxed at the Echo making my debut. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, but yeah, we've been a pro just over 11 years now.
Yeah, no, definitely. And in terms of it, as I said before, you've been Bantamweight World Champion before. I suppose for you, at the stage you're at of your career, well over 30 fights, and in your mid-30s now, it's kind of, I suppose for you, reaching that stage where you want to win another world title and put down kind of that legacy, and these be your legacy years almost.
Most definitely. Obviously, when I won the world title, I got advised to go back down a weight, which was my natural weight at the time. So I've never really gone into the ring defending my title or been announced as the world champion. So that's something I want to do. And this is my chance to go out there, beat Casimero in my natural weight. Last time it wasn't. And this time then go on and defend it and be announced to the ring as a world champion.
How much hunger does it give you to kind of really get in there with Casimero and get that title, given what happened out in Dubai, as you say? Because, I mean, to a lot of people who might be listening who aren't huge boxing fans, you've got weight to make.
Yeah.
And as you explained to me before, ahead of the last fight, he just refused to get on to the scales, and that therefore kind of means that he doesn't get stripped of the title and it handed to you. You do have to still go and win it.
Yeah, to be fair, we didn't know that he didn't have to get on the scales, and obviously reading over the WBO rules out in Dubai, a few hours after he'd failed to step on the scales, there was nothing in the WBO rules to state that if he doesn't attend the scales, if he'd have got on the scales and failed weight, and then had 2 hours to make weight and then still failed, he'd have been stripped of his title. But that weren't the case. He'd obviously done his own work, checked the rules, failed to get on the scales and kept his title. Clever move by him. Just gutted that I didn't really get my chance out there.
Yeah, as you say, I suppose smart from him. But for yourself, home crowd, headlining the bill as well, I mean, it kind of feels as though it's come together for you.
100%. There's no better place to box than at the Echo Arena in front of your home crowd. I took a few over to Dubai. It'd have been different out there, but looking at the crowd in Dubai, on the night that we were meant to box, it was full of Filipinos, so this time I get it full of Scousers and full of people from Ellesmere Port as well.
Yeah, exactly. The atmosphere that generates. British boxing at the moment really does seem to be on the up. I mean, there was a card in Newcastle last weekend that really kind of took off, and it feels as though Liverpool is a fight city as well. And
100%. I think, I know he travels well. I'm not daft. I know he's been over here before. I know he's won over here a couple of times before. But there's no arena quite like it than the Echo Arena when that gets bouncing, especially on the 22nd.
Yeah, no, definitely. Right, we're going to talk a bit about football and the Reds as well.
Yep.
Big Liverpool fan yourself. I mean, what have you made of it this season?
Brilliant, mate. We're brilliant. What a season. To be, I think it was 14 points behind City, and now to close the gap within one, playing them this weekend. Flying in the Champions League, which we always seem to do. We're a very good Champions League side. We're very good in Europe. Whoever we draw in Europe, I fancy us over the 2 legs. And then your finals are a flip of a coin, really, isn't it? Because it's going to be 2 great teams. Made up we won the Carabao Cup because he doesn't seem to, I wouldn't say care about it, but he seems to put all his eggs in the Champions League or the Premier League. So made up we won that. He seems to be going for everything this season. We're FA Cup semi-final. I know we've got City, but if we pull through that, then we're in a right good chance of winning that as well. So, right good season for us, and I'm looking forward to the finishing line for it.
As you say, it seems to be different this season. The depth of the squad, obviously, unlike City, Liverpool's going up against, who kind of seem to click their fingers and be able to bring in a squad full of players. It's taken, 5, 6, 7 years for Klopp to build, but now it feels as though, much like I said, you yourself have kind of getting to that stage of your career of wanting to have a legacy and become a world champion.
Yeah, I think over the last couple of years, well, certainly since Jota's came in, our front three was just the same front three every week, and they was getting run into the ground. Salah, Mane, Firmino. Now and again, you'd have to bring Origi in. Oxford sometimes slot in there, but it was the same three constantly. Now we've got the rotation. The middle of the park solid as well. We've got good rotation in the middle of the park. Van Dijk looks like he's having a jog each week, doesn't he? He doesn't break sweat. So we're flying at the moment, and it's what a time to be, Red.
From an athlete's perspective, I know it's different. You go in a ring and you're punching each other in the head, but that relentless nature of, I mean, Jurgen Klopp's spoken about it, hasn't he, a number of times, and they're bringing 5 subs into the Premier League. But for 10 months, they're going at it for the whole time. I mean, even when they have breaks, it's a World Cup, it's a Euros, it's another daft competition that's been invented to just keep the players playing.
Yeah.
How much credit does the squad deserve for that respect, especially given the lack of injuries they seem to pick up?
Yeah. Obviously, the amount of games that we're playing, the amount of training that they have to do, and footballers are probably not as strict as us with their diet because we have to calorie count, and I suppose they do, but they're probably getting more. But it's a 24/7 job that we have to do what they have to do. They're out training every single day, and they won't be short little sessions. They'll be hard, intense sessions, and sometimes we're playing 3 times a week, twice a week. Obviously, with every competition that we're in the moment, it must be difficult. So the rotation, as we've seen Tuesday night, he rotated a couple in there. So I'm sure he'll rotate again Sunday against City. Yeah,
definitely. What about the quadruple then? I'm going to put the word out there. It seems to linger around every conversation at the moment.
I've been saying to all the Blues, we're winning that quadruple.
Could be a mad season though, couldn't it? Quadruple for Liverpool.
Down,
yeah.
Count that as a 5th cup, can't we?
Yeah.
No, they're having a bad season, but it makes it even better that we're in every single competition and we've already got one in the bag.
Yeah, and I suppose when you look at it, it's realistic. It's not just.
It is.
I mean, we're not in February going, quadruple, and the knockout stage of the Champions League are yet to start. I mean, an advantage in the first leg of the quarter-final. I mean, look at Villarreal beating Bayern Munich as well, I suppose. Obviously, it's the winner of that Liverpool face. That kind of gives a different complexion to that tie.
It does. When you were looking at that draw, you were looking at Bayern Munich in the semis, weren't we? Now it's a toss of a coin. I know Bayern can go anywhere, and I think they're at home, second leg, aren't they? So we still potentially get them. But listen, we had Bayern a few years ago and we put them out. On our day, there's no one that can beat us, and over 2 legs. I think other than Atletico, I don't think we've been beat over 2 legs in the Champions League. So I'm more than confident. Doesn't matter who we pull, any team. I fancy us to do the job.
And I suppose when you look at it, I mean, without wanting to get too carried away, make it through to the final likely to be as it stands at the moment between either Man City, one-off, obviously know the rivalry that's building there, but Real Madrid, of course, there's a score to settle there.
Right, I know, yeah. I wouldn't mind getting Real Madrid, especially from the final. We played against them a few years back. Obviously what happened with Salah. So it'd be nice to get revenge on them, but it'd be nice to beat City as well. Obviously we've got 6 They've got none at the moment, and that's their big one, and they're dying to win that. They'd rather that than the Premier League at the moment. And Pep needs it. Pep needs it big time. We don't need it, but we want it.
What's your take on that then, going the other way? Last time the Reds won the Premier League, of course, the fans weren't able to be there.
Yeah.
That's the one, isn't it?
That is the one. I think it'd be nice for the fans to be in the ground, for us to lift the Premier League. It was a bit of a shame last time. I know everyone gathered outside the ground, but it's not the same, is it, them being in the stadium and everyone bouncing in there. Imagine the Kop the day we win the Prem. It'd be some scene like.
How big do you think that's going to be? You spoke your own fight, the home crowd. I mean, Anfield, we know, synonymous with great European nights and everything. But even as this title race goes on, that's going to be a huge factor for Liverpool now.
100%. I remember, I think it was 2014.
Yeah.
I think it looked like we were going to win the league. I paid good money for a ticket for Liverpool City. We were 2-2 and Coutinho scored late on. Made the place erupted. I've never seen an atmosphere like it in my life. And it looked like we were going to win it then. So you can imagine what it'd be like if we actually lifted that.
That was before title. The main stand as well, wasn't it? But the grounding, how it's been developed as well, though, is keeping that atmosphere in.
100%. Yeah, I think we're having another extension on. So I think we're just going from strength to strength, and exactly how the team is as well.
What about the man Luis Diaz then? Since he's arrived,
unbelievable player, isn't he? Unbelievable. I'm surprised how well he's fitted in. Because Jurgen normally gives him 4 or 5 months. Plays him here, there, Carabao Cup, FA Cup now and again in the league. I remember Andy Robbo. I think he played against Wolves. He got man of the match. He sat him out for about 2 months afterwards. But Diaz has come in and he's been a breath of fresh air. What a player. He just glides past people. He makes everything look easy.
Same happened with Fabinho as well, wasn't it?
Fabinho did the same, yeah.
We
didn't see him for a while, and then he came in and everyone was raving about him.
Yeah, no, definitely. Back to your fight and kind of the card as well. I mean, yourself won the last 7 fights, and you were talking before about how when you won the Bantamweight World title before, you never really got quite to defend it. Do you feel coming into this, you're in the best shape that you've been in and been able to build that consistency? Yeah, to be honest with you, I remember halfway through camp, probably 6 weeks out from Dubai, when I was I didn't feel great at all. I felt like my sparring weren't great, my bag work weren't great. I didn't feel normal. And then the last 3 weeks of camp, I felt unbelievable. I felt I was in the best shape. I was in the best place. Unfortunately, the fight didn't happen. And then it feels like I've had Christmas off and I've just gone from where I left off right into camp. Because we were just ticking over Christmas. I didn't do too much. You've got to give your body time to replenish, rebuild and go again. You can't always be at 100%. So I let my body reset and we went again. And as soon as I stepped in the gym, I felt bang on right the way through camp. I've had a few bad rounds in sparring, as everyone does. A few black eyes here and there, but I've had some tough sparring, but it's the best I've felt. Honestly, it's the best I've felt. Game plan wise, I feel like I'm sticking to a game plan a lot more than what I was previously before the December bout was made. So it's something I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to actually going in there, sticking to a game plan and executing that game plan. I suppose it's always one of those things that when you speak to the boxer, it's an easy thing to trot out, I feel the best. But I suppose part of that as well, though, is as your career goes on and the longer you're a professional, as you say, over 11 years now, you begin training camps what you want better. 100%. So, I think throughout the years, I've struggled a few times and it's been noted that I've failed weight, but there's always been a reason why I've failed weight. Rodriguez, I had 4 weeks' notice, no one knew that. I had 4 weeks' notice to try and lose nearly 2 stone. And that was a struggle. Yeah, struggle myself with that kind of thing. That was a proper struggle, and I did try, and I came off Twitter for years for that because you just got stick for it. Yeah. But no one really sees what goes in, and nowadays I seem to make the weight a lot easier than what I used to, because
as you're going through your career, you try different diets and you see different dietitians, different nutritionalists, and they try a different way. And the way I do it now is the best way I've ever done it. I used to no carbs the fight week, and I'd struggle with 3 or 4 days out. Now I'm carbing right the way up to my fight, but just gradually bringing it down. Plenty of water, so I'm constantly sweating, and the day I go in to make me weight, the day before the weigh-in, I've got plenty of water in me, and it just falls out of me, and I'm done within 45 minutes. So there's no tension, no hard work going into my body, and the day before the weigh-in, or fight week even.
I can say that's one of the most disciplined things about boxing, isn't it? Of that need to make weight, and I suppose as the years go on, it can be harder to shift the weight, but equally, you are more attuned to knowing where you need to be at.
Yeah, I think if you regularly do it and you're not too far over your weight, then your body will allow you to bring the weight down. But I think if you're constantly going up and down, like look at Ricky Arm for years and years and years, he'd go 3 stone overweight, and it just shortened his career. Eventually, it shortened his career. I know he was constantly in tough fights, but it doesn't help in the long run. I try now. I'll try and sit around just over a stone and a half, around above my weight. Once I get into training, the diet won't start too much once I'm in the gym, and then I'll start sitting around a stone overweight. So when the weight cut starts, I've probably got a stone to lose, which isn't as bad as what I have done over the years, which I touched on was 2 stone for Rodriguez. It was nearly 2 stone anyway. In 4 weeks, it was almost impossible for me.
Yeah, definitely. What's the selling point then for people listening to this? Is there a grudge to this fight, as you say, maybe a bit of disappointment that it didn't happen in December, but equally, I suppose, chance to see a hometown boy become a world champion?
100%. I don't think there's any grudge there. I just think it was rattish what he done out in Dubai. I think he knew exactly what he was doing. I think if you followed the story, I think you'll know his sister's a big YouTuber, and she YouTubes everything what he puts out. So the day we were meant to box, they were live on YouTube in the hotel room in Dubai, and his cutsman is an actual doctor, and he's behind Casimero. As Casimero's talking to the camera, his doctor's behind him, and his doctor doesn't know he's in the camera. And he says to someone who's not in the picture, can you get me the doctor's name, because I need to tell him what to put on the doctor's report, on the medical report, because that's the report they needed to send to the WBO within 10 days so he wouldn't be stripped. So we all knew he weren't ill. We all knew it was just an easy, well, I wouldn't say an easy way out. He just couldn't make weight, and everyone that was there in Dubai knew he couldn't make weight. It was only me in Dubai that was saying, he'll make weight. And that was just me having the mentality that the champion will make weight. He'll want to defend his title. Everyone, and I mean everyone out in Dubai, said no, he won't make weight. So there's that bitterness there from me that he's pulled a fast one. He's got one over on us there, and that's what I want to get back. You
can say it adds to not just wanting the world title, but wanting to
give him
more.
Yeah, it's just the way he's got out of it, and apparently he was being sick at like 1:30 in the morning out in Dubai the night before the weigh-in, and that was because partly the doctor said because he was struggling that much and put his body under that much intensity to try and make weight, that he just started being sick apparently.
You said about the game plan before as well, and I suppose you have to build up to this. He knows you've got his number as well, does he?
To be honest with you, I've been watching obviously what his sister posts out on his YouTube, and I honestly think he thinks it's going to be an easy night. I think he thinks he's just got to make weight, come over, do a job, and he's looking at the winner of a new way in Donaire. By watching the pads and stuff that he's doing, I don't think he's going through any game plan. I think he's just going to turn up, and I think he thinks he can just turn up and win. We've got other plans of that. Listen, I know he can bang. I'm not stupid. I'm a boxing coach myself. I train the amateurs in the amateur gym where I grew up. I know I'll have to stand there with him at parts in that fight, and I'm going to have to trade. But there'll be times where he'll be chasing and he'll be frustrated as well. So our game plan will work in times, and I'm sure this will at times, but that's where I've got to be patient and I've got to be clever.
2014 was when you were IBF World Champions. So 8 years ago, what, you would have been 25 then, 33 now. I mean, you feel as though you're in a better place with that. But how much validity to you for your career as well would be becoming a 2-time world champion be?
Massive. I think back when I won it in 2015, was it 15?
14.
14. I think everything was a bit of a rush then. I think I won the British title, I won the Commonwealth title, Intercontinental titles came, Stewie Hall won the world title, and then bang, it got put on me. Would you box Stewie Hall? It was only my 16th fight. And I think part of the reason of me going back down was because I was never a bantamweight to start with, and because I'd only had 16 fights, I was still a baby in the sport. And like I say, everything was madly rushed for me. I probably wasn't ready at that time to stay at that level. I'd have probably, if Stewie Hall wouldn't have won that world title, I probably wouldn't have boxed for a world title probably till about 20 bouts. But because Stewie Hall won that title, he was an ex-sparring partner of mine. We went for it and we took it with both hands. But I think if he didn't, I think I'd have had about another 4 or 5 fights, and then we'd have pushed on for the world title. So I think everything was crash bang wallop back then. And I think now, I've actually matured into a proper bantamweight. I've actually got a game plan going into this fight. I never used to have game plans back with an old coach. This time I think everything will be a little bit different.
Yeah, fair enough. Just elsewhere on the card, Rocky Fielding's also on it, and Sam Maxwell as well, fighting for IBO super lightweight title. It's recently been added to the card as well. It does look as though it's a great bill. Obviously, yourself headlining it.
Yeah, it is. It's a great bill. Obviously, you got Peter McGrail as well that does good numbers. Classy fighter, an Olympian from this city. So it is. It's a great card. Nice to see Rocky back. I know he boxed out in Dubai in November, I think, but nice to have him back here at the Echo. Jazza, nice to see him back out as well. Coming off a loss, so hopefully he can push on, get a win, and he'll be back in the title contention.
Great stuff. Right, we're going to do a quick fire thing before we go. But before that, I want to pin you down on the Reds. In for 4, how many are they going to win?
3.
3, yeah. Which one? They obviously got the Carabao.
Yeah.
Which of the 2 you're going with then?
Champions League and Prem.
Oh, what a trouble that would be.
Yeah.
What a trouble. And obviously, it would give chance. I suppose they've got to land either the Premier League or Champions League, really, for that open top bus parade that the fans are so thirsty for. Yeah,
100%. How good would it be with 2, 3, 4 cups on that bus? It'd be, well, everyone's seen how many turned out for the Champions League a few years back, so imagine it with 2, 3 or 4 cups.
Yeah, that would be some sight, and well done for not ducking the question and going straight for it. Right, quick fire ones then I want to get into. Of the current Liverpool squad, who in theirs would be the best sparring partner, do you think?
Thiago, because he's about my size.
Most explosive, do you think?
In our team?
Yep.
Canate,
yeah. What about
big, strong.
Best cornerman? This can be off the coaching stuff as well if you want, but
best cornerman?
Yeah.
Probably Robbo, Scottish. He'd have that fire in his belly, wouldn't he? I think he'd go down well, yeah.
And biggest showman?
Biggest showman. Ooh. Don't know, tough one that. Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby. Yeah, that's a good shout.
Bobby,
actually,
yeah.
I was
he likes a little dance and
I was thinking maybe
that,
Trent or even Luis Diaz was dancing, wasn't he, the other day with Fabinho as well? Yeah, no, Bobby Firmino, good one with that. And past or present footballer you'd most like to have a scrap with?
Gary Neville. Gary Neville, yeah.
That is a brilliant answer, Paul. Brilliant place to finish it as well. Thanks for joining us for this special episode of the Blood Red podcast. Of course, make sure you check out the details for Paul's fight, the 22nd of April at the M&S Bank Arena. Head to the website for more ticket information. There'll also be a link in the description. But for myself, Guy Clarke and Paul Butler, thanks for your time and your company. It's bye for now.